Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of January 22nd through the 28th of 2018. First, I want to say what I've been saying these last couple of weeks. Make sure that you check out my newsletter. It came out at the time of the new moon in Capricorn last week, and it outlines the changes that I'm making across my social media to make these posts accessible to you. This is not about trying to take them away. It's about trying to actually make them accessible. So do read that over. And let's talk about this week, shall we? Because this week we will see Mars, our planet of action and energy, move on into the sign of Sagittarius. And of course, there is a reading that would be on Patreon for that as well, just to make you aware, on both Patreon and YouTube. Now, what's interesting, all of the January readings to me have been interesting for the weeklies, okay? And this, it's not to say that this is a repeat of last week, but some of that energy still feels the same. That I just feel like you're growing stronger by the week and doing more things that allow you to take control of your life. There's a lot of karma in the air. And I think with each day, you grow more into, like that who you want to be when you grow up type of thing, a better sense of self. There is this, it's not just about taking charge. It's about how you're deciding to lead your life. You may not have made completely some of your decisions yet, but you're working toward that. And, really, there's a solid feeling that's here. I don't even know how to put it. I think within the next 4 weeks, you're going to be making a decision, probably sometime in late February. All right. Right now, I think, if you've had good fortune come your way, it's kind of, maybe you're a little bit skeptical. Like, is it as good as it feels? That type of thing. And the answer is yes. But, everything, it's almost like you have to really keep working at it. This is not, and I think I said this last week as well, this is not where, January rolls around and the energy's great and the universe just says, well, here you go. You've been sitting there doing nothing, praying and wishing something would happen and change in your life. So here, you can have it now. No, that's not it. You have worked hard at it. If you have actually worked at it, you are able to go in pursuit of your hopes and your dreams. Now, not everything, I think, is, not dissatisfaction, but maybe you thought it was going to be a little different than what it is. You got to get the details worked out first. All right. For some of you, there's actually, and I think I said this last week too, I feel like some of you have paperwork that has to get done. And whatever that is about, doing that paperwork, getting things signed, that's where your power is, believe it or not, is getting things taken care of, taking care of all of the details. So somewhere around the 6th week of the year or thereafter, I want to say like around Valentine's Day, that mid-February, when, we have an eclipse coming then. Yeah, time for change. Positive change. See, when the universe puts you at a crossroads, I don't think that you can really go wrong in the choosing this time. You seem a little more certain by that time. I think if you had to choose today, this week, you would, not be sure if it was the right way to go, whichever way. And even though we're in a weekly here, I'm looking at this and I'm wondering why. It's very, very much whatever is going on this week, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on and moving toward. There is something big happening at that next new moon. And it'll be a solar eclipse in Aquarius. So, yeah, pay attention. Follow your intuition. You may not have all of the answers, but I think it will help you in your decisions. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. I think that all of you are, working on something that's just so new to you. So you see, you can't have all of the answers. That's something that you have to realize. You cannot have all the answers because you've never had these experiences before. Okay, so you're kind of like feeling like you're in the dark a little bit up until March. And then you can see what's coming your way. Because you remember how I've been talking about, in April, it's like someone pulls the curtain back and lets you take a peek. Yeah, all right. It's all coming. It's all coming. And it's wonderful, successful, and, like your wishes coming true. And I'm telling you that it comes through you being able to eliminate and separate whatever you need to separate from. It's happening. Have patience for your changes, because I think that even now things are changing, but it's more about the prep work, like, getting everything together. It feels like there's a great deal of work involved, and, there's just not the time for distractions. So whatever your vision is, you're working at it. There's a great deal of effort here toward a new beginning, and there is definitely no backing down. Okay, I'm telling you, this is about your hopes and dreams. It's about what you want to make happen. And I think when you look at everything individually that's on your list, how you like giving equal attention is what I want to say. Because there shouldn't be one particular thing in your life that's your focus. You just need to keep on doing what you're doing and working at it, like diligently working at it. And this is not to the point of exhaustion or anything like that. It's just, there is an entire rebirth, fresh start thing going on here that I'm telling you is coming, like in the March, April time frame, where you're reaching important goals. So these weeks that we're doing now, first of all, 0 retrograde planets, okay? You don't get that very often, and you know this, okay? So you're working, it's almost like they are stepping stones, taking you toward that March goal, that March, April goal, whatever, where you're really moving on, You've already moved on in some extent, but I think that you're still going, see, where you might have thought, okay, if I do this, that's it. You're still looking. You're still going, wow, there's more out there. There's more that I want to do. There's more that I want to make happen. And those doors, I think, are really going to start opening. By the end of March, you're seeing things very differently. So, big focus for you right now is where you have struggled for security in your life. And that's not just financial. That's whatever makes you feel secure and how you intend to handle that. So, you're seeing that. Right? Where we have now. Well, the sun's in Aquarius, and we have Valentine's Day coming up. That's in a couple of weeks. I'm telling you, something's going on. Because I see that eclipse here, bringing in drastic change. Pay attention to who's talking to you, what the conversations are about. There is a lot that's going on. And it's almost like it's there, and you can watch the progression of things. I'm trying to find a way to explain this to you. It's like you can watch the progression of things that are happening. So I think what I want to say is, like, when you're in change on a daily basis, you kind of get up every day, and it's not quite as routine, but there's still some routine in it. So I think it takes a while before you wake up and go, oh, wow, look at everything that's happened. But we are in eclipse season, people. Okay, so the changes that are here, the changes that are coming, I feel like they keep on rolling through. And this is a very karmic time that we're in. So sometimes our life, the things that we want to see happen, and I've said this before, you have to remember, because there's like that other person that's out there. What if the one thing that's left on your agenda is love, right? And I always say, while you're out there looking, for your hopes and dreams, and you're zigging and you're zagging along, that's what everybody else is doing too. Okay, so that other person may not even have crossed paths with you yet. I'm really thinking April, okay, is more likely, because I think that if it's about another person or a wish, that's where it happens. But right now, you focus on you, and later on you're going to say, wow, Cecilia, now I know why you wanted me to focus on myself in the first 2 to 3 months of the year, because all of the changes that I created and everything that I've made happen in my life, I feel good about who I am. I feel good about what I'm doing and where I'm going. And then when the timing is right, that wish comes in. I'm telling you, it's all about what you're doing now, and then the reward comes. I'm looking at it, and it's like so amazing to me that I just can't get over it. Okay, so whatever you're working on eliminating, separating from in your life, it's a happening thing. And when it does, that's when all of the success comes in. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Don't forget every once in a while, to take time out for you, and never be afraid to tweak your plans. Don't think that they have to be so set in stone that you can only do it one way. That very often is where people wind up having a downfall, is that they make a plan and they don't know how to kind of go with the flow and do things. All right, I see things here that you're not quite clear of yet in your life, obligated to whatever you want. They may even be aggravating you, whatever is going on. Focus on the plan, shoulder your responsibilities and learn. Be a student during this time frame and learn. Make it your goal to learn more, because what you're building now, and you're having new growth that's coming in. All right, I really like this. Your creativity this year is extremely heightened, and maybe you don't realize it, and maybe you do, but it stems from all the, so things are growing smoother, they're feeling easier, you're feeling more grounded, but you're feeling more creative. And I'm absolutely loving this. And I'm telling you, it has to do with the things like when you open yourself to the possibilities of learning new things this year. Did they have to be at your job? Maybe. They could be other areas of life. Just expanding your knowledge, expanding, the things that you work on and how you feel. It's taking you somewhere very special. If anything stressful were to happen and come up, it's easier to handle now. All right, there's a big difference in stressful situations, and it's not to say that everyone's going to encounter something stressful this week, but even if you did, I think that it's much easier to handle it now. There's also an indication here of a little extra travel for some reason, moving. And, I have to say it in this way. If it's not physical travel, like taking an unexpected trip this week, then it's that transitional, like life itself is moving. And you should be able to see it because it's toward your happiness. All right? It really, truly is. It's toward your happiness. But the problem here is maintaining proper balance. And, that's one of those things where I think if you're, see, there's that don't overdo it kind of thing going on. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow, don't ignore this, keep a good balance between work and home, da 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 da. You know, life in general, keep it balanced, it will be more fair. Again, there is something happening. I almost feel like this whole month of January, people are being given the opportunity to really restore the power in their life. Whether the actual payoff comes in January or the ability to finally manifest something shows up, there's something very good that's going on. Okay, I like this a lot, and it's showing it like everywhere I look as a victory for you. Okay, chart your progress with various aspects of your life in relation to the full moons and the new moons. Last week we had a new moon, and it was a great time for many of you to begin new things, and that, I think that was evident in last week's reading. But you know, this week is a continuation of that, and then next week we will be talking about the full moon total lunar eclipse in Leo, okay, as we round out the month. And just thinking, you know, there is so much potential here for things to happen. You don't get to know the thing to be let's put it this way. The thing to be thankful for right now is that there are no retrograde planets. So it doesn't add that extra fog. If you remember back in August when we had, you know, the Aquarius and the Leo eclipses then, and Mercury was retrograde, and so many other things going on, and it was like nobody knew what end was up. And the second eclipse gave a great deal of impetus toward the change which has been playing out in your life in recent weeks, and has a lot to do with where you are right now. And I want to make note, there really isn't any backward movement of any kind here. It's all in a general way moving forward, some of it faster than others. But you know what I'm seeing here, it's like I said, I really feel like in a couple more weeks we might have to get past the solar eclipse in Aquarius. So that's not until the third week of February, right? And it's like after that, I think once you've watched the events, see, you have events that are under your control and events that are not under your control. That's the eclipses. So when all of that takes place and you see all of the things that are going on around you, then I think you're going to be like, okay, now I'm at a crossroads and I have to figure it out. But what you have the potential for right here and right now is to keep moving forward with the things that are on your list, the things that are under your control. So in other words, you can't worry about what someone else is doing right now. It has no bearing on your life. This is a big do you period of time. And I'm telling you, you're going to look back on it later, and if you focus on yourself and do everything that you want to do for you, you know, whether it's to make you feel better financially, physically, any other way possible, when you get to, you know, a few months from now, you're going to say, thank you for making me do that. Because you're going to see the position that you're in and the new events that have come into your life, the new people that have come into your life, and the things that are going on around you. So this is your time to shine. This is your time to do you. And it's the most important thing that you can do. It's almost like this big preparatory mode to put you in position for the wonderful things that are coming. There is no better way for me to put it. So I want to thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to check out my newsletter outlining my social media changes, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.